Yo, world out there, this is Midwest
Zone.
A2.
It's your boy Three Fingers.
And we are
The Final Four.
Here we go with another one.
We got next, doesn't matter who at first, son.
Here we go with another one. And another one. And another one.
Final Four started, it was more of like just, we were recording, just random stuff all the time. So, we were at the same job, we always just sit back in the back and freestyle, just do lyrics and all that. And so then we started to realize that we kind of had, about the same skill level, same interests and talents. So we started recording, stuff started coming together. We was just recording song after song after song until eventually we decided that we should just stick together as a group.
Didn't really think I was gonna be rapping. I thought I originally liked art, so that was like my plan A. And then rap music was always plan B. I started out in 06 with the group BVP. Then we kind of, after two mixtapes, kind of disbanded, and then we got into Final Four. So I didn't think I was gonna be rapping, to be honest. I thought I was just gonna be doing art or doing just playing video games. Kind of just came up on me.
Me, I've always been into music, for like, ever since middle school I was in choir. So I've always been, I've had a musical background. When I really started getting into hip hop, which was just like early high school, that's when I was listening to stuff like Talib Kweli, and I always liked the fact that they could rap without being the typical. So that's what got me into hip hop. I started writing more, and then eventually I just started rapping.
I would say that I didn't initially plan to be a rapper, but being that I'm extra uber elite at whatever I want to do, and it just kind of happened. So I'm proud to be where I'm at. I'm having fun with it.
I mean, I've always been in tune with music from what my parents played, and like as a kid, you would have your cassette tapes, I would record the stuff, and just being able to recite word from word from like a song you hear on the radio was always like, it was fun to do. So being a fan, you want to feel a part of what they're doing, so you take it to the other side and say, hey, I can do this too. I've been a part of listening, being a fan, so I can do what y'all can do. I mean, a few influences that, kind of made me look more into music and made me want to, like, be a part of that. Looking at the TV screen, gotta say Wayne, T.I., and then a mixtape Messiah by the name of Chameleon there, Just a few.
I'd say, as far as whole music career-wise, I would have to say Jay-Z at first. It's kind of like when you come from something or nothing, and then you make it to be like, one of the most well-known, rappers ever. And that's really big. But that's kind of why I kind of started rapping. It's big stuff.
Me, I take a lot of influence from Chicago's best MC, I'd say, Common. I always liked his perspective. But as far as the way that I rap, I take a lot of influence from like East Coast and West Coast styles of rapping. Like my demeanor is real laid back, so I identify with like West Coast. But then just the rapid fire, like East Coast cats, that's where I get most of my style.
I say who most influenced me is probably Kanye West. But as I grew up, I got introduced to Kid Cudi and Childish Gambino, and I really look up to them, especially Gambino. His music touches me in a weird way. It's just the music he be saying, the lyrics he be saying, it's crazy.
Basically, the music scene in Wichita is barely a scene to even begin with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times you have a lot of people who listen to radio music, they listen to what's on iTunes, and that's all music is.
Yeah.
So you don't have people who go outside the box and listen to who's actually trying to make it to that point. So when we talk about music here, you'll get people who mimic those styles that are on radio on iTunes, but then you also get people, and I'd say are like us, try a different approach to it, and you know, for the most part, actually do it well. But the biggest problem with here is that once you get something that's outside of people's box, then they're not too receptive. So the music scene here can be better. However, you can't blame people for liking what they like. As far as like the music, you know how they receive hip hop in Wichita, you know, it's really on that mainstream level, and the way that music has come down the road today is like, it's so dumbed down and so simple, and like surprisingly that's what a lot of people like. They don't really like that deep, like intellectual, like meaning in the song that you can take from it, and I don't know, it's just hard for them to accept that where hip hop originated and rap originated from, like being more lyrical. So I don't know, it's just how this generation has come to like that simple dumbed down music.
I would say that as far as like us and then people in Wichita and everything, they're more about like the usual stuff and everything, you know, like snap music, like
gangster,
you know,
rap,
like talking about things that they don't do, like, or probably don't do on a heavier scale. Like nobody's big coke king around here. Nobody has a Ferrari or Porsche or anything like that. That's actually selling drugs or anything like that. But it's basically like they rap about what they don't live, and I say the Final Four, for the most part, raps around, you know, our real life, like everything that we've either been through or stuff that we're actually doing. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, we like take it back to the roots on like where it all originated, how we can like incorporate the hip hop feel of that time period with like rap in this time period in the different generations. We like mix it all together. Not a lot of people can do that. It's like a lost art and they forget where it started from. So just that simple cat in the hat rhyme, man, that's not where it's at, but that's appealing to a large audience right now, which is sad for hip hop today. But hey, time moves on. We'll see if we can fix that.
With mainstream people and everything, then they you know, if somebody comes out with a certain sound or anything like that, and everybody just copies that same thing, like, you know, dubstep hit and everything, somebody started rapping on dubstep, and then everybody else started trying to get a dubstep.
Like auto-tune.
Yeah, an auto-tune. I think the difference between us and them is that they lack creativity. So that's just my.
They got the major labels pushing them, and they ain't got much to say. They just go with the record labels saying.
Well, don't sign your
whatever
soul
sells,
and
you know.
Yeah, never make that bread.
I mean, you know, it's not terrible, but it ain't like extremely great and everything. As far as what Final Four does, we don't really do much. We did 8 songs for the club, but it's not difficult to do, but it's not what our focus is.
But it feels like when all 4 of us is in the club, are in the club, thanks, dog. When we are in the club, it feels like you know, Final Four. We ain't our normal street name. We're Final Four. When we're together, it seems like we're not us separately. We're Final Four. So like when we are in the club, Final Four is in the club. It's not just 3 fingers. It's not
Final Four's in the building.
Yeah, that's basically how I feel when we all in the club together. And sometimes certain places they give a shout out to us. So.
Yeah, I mean, the club culture here, I mean, it's not nearly as close to, say, like, if you were to go up to Lawrence or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's more of a scene up there for it. There's more of a demand. Like, now here, you know, people have less to do.
Yeah.
So you would think more focus on, like, nightlife. But for what it's worth, you know, it definitely brings people out. So that's always a good thing. However, if the club culture had a little bit more of a music scene backing to it, I think that would actually enhance the experience a lot more. However, it all depends on the people and what they want.
they're my brothers, even though they're actual brothers. It feels like we're all like brothers, and like back in the day, like when I was making when we was making pretzel sticks and cheese dips. I always say this: we wasn't Final Four. We only have Final Four on the title, but like if you look to the track listing, it's not Final Four. It's Three Fingers rapping this song. It's Midwest and Three Fingers. Like me and Midwest, we always did a lot of tracks together on the first mixtape, and it felt like Midwest and Three Fingers. And then like say me and A2 did a track together, or if Zone did one by himself, it just felt like Zone. But the second mixtape, Who Got Next, in stores now, you know, it felt like we're a whole, we're a group. We was the Final Four. On Who Got Next, we was a group. So I think we're growing, like we're bonding, like what Zone said, we're bonding together. We're becoming one in a way. Well, we did 2 shows at Doc Howard's. We did a show in Kansas City. We did a show in Junction City. We did block parties. We did the Black Arts Festival. Shisha, shout out to George at Shisha Hookah Lounge next to WSU. We released Who Got Next. That was our successful mixtape. So I guess we're working on the future.
Personally, I think where we're headed is to more of a rotation. Kind of like if you saw Final Four here this week, you know, 2 weeks from now you'll see them at the same spot. Whereas, you know, which I think is gonna actually start to build a better fan base. And then it's like, you know, if they want to see us, then it's predictable. You know, and of course we're gonna throw in a curveball, do somewhere, you know, you wouldn't expect, but
nursing home.
Yeah. Hang out with old folks. Hang out at the park.
Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing, you know? Like that's
so cliche.
That's like hey, like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I started rapping in 2006 and everybody laughed at us at school. They said we could never rap. You know, we ain't rappers, you know, they never take us serious. I think to this day people don't take me serious. But like, don't listen to them, just keep on going, man. Just keep on going, you know, and I say you can take your work serious, but don't take yourself too serious. You know, one of my professors told me that at school, so I live that to this day.